Hello and welcome to another edition of road.cc Recommends. This month we've got loads of kit, more bikes than ever before, and this imposter, what are you doing here?
This imposter's got some fancy new road.cc kit.
Which you can get at road.cc/kit. And yes, we've got casual wear, but also our full range of new cycling kit. It really is very nice. What are you doing here today?
Well, I just couldn't pass up the chance to get involved in a bit of the Recommends show. This month, we've got a cracking route recommendation for you, buying advice on commuter bikes, Liam's favourite bit of looking at a cafe, and stay tuned until the end for our product of the month.
Ooh, well, you know me. We both love a calf, don't we? But as it's June, which is the British summertime really, I think we'll kick off with a pair of sunnies.
Yeah, these GALIBIER REGALE Ultra Optics got a raving review by Stu, and it's refreshing to see that a set of branded glasses are coming in at just £46.
That is really good. When many brands are out there trying to flog cycling shades with price tags exceeding well over 100 quid, even 200 quid, these offer exceptional value for money with great fit, excellent lens clarity, and the frameless design means an unrestricted view. That's not bad.
I don't think they look half bad either.
No, I quite like the look of them.
Yeah, there's 5 different lens options, including clear. There's a photochromic option. So yeah, bargain.
Yeah. The summer also means that gravel is dry and after work rides are back. I came to watch you race yesterday, didn't I? How'd you do?
It hurt a lot.
It looked like it did.
But anyway, the sun, it's good timing because PANARACER have sent us in a set of their slick TLC tyres. Hollis certainly seem to have been enjoying them. We actually have reviewed these already in a size 32mm, but we've now got these in a 35.
Bit more comfort.
He loved them.
Yeah, it's the one time of the year in the UK that you can actually run slicks on gravel. Otherwise you slide in around. If you had to choose just one tyre to do absolutely everything, then this is up there actually. It's reasonably light, fast rolling, decently durable, and it's available in tan or black like any good tyre should be.
Have you seen the other colours they do?
No.
Oh, they're pretty cool.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there's pink or sort of a greeny sort of colour.
So much matching possibility. Despite the colours, there is one thing to note, they can come up a bit wide, so check your clearance.
So moving on, and we have this Specialized Align 2 helmet. It's just £45, and it is low cost, but you get all the features that you'd expect on helmets costing twice the price. So this one's got MIPS technology, and if you don't really know what that is, then apparently it's best to ask Liam. I'm told he knows all about it.
Yeah, I'm normally in charge of crash testing the capabilities of helmets. MIPS basically means that the inner floaty section, well, that helps you in the event of a crash, and it avoids it avoids twisting forces on the brain, as I understand it.
Well, in the event of not crashing, the helmet impressed us with its ventilation, adjustability, and its looks, with the only real penalty over much more expensive helmets being that this one's a little bit heavier. And that's not really a concern for most riders. No, if the longer days have convinced you to do some longer days in the saddle, then you'll know how important a good set of bibs is. Yeah, bibs really is an area that I'm prepared to spend my own hard-earned money on. Oh yeah. It can make such a big difference to the ride enjoyment. And this month, we've had a set of Castelli free Aero RC bib shorts in for test, and Matt was seriously impressed. I mean, we've also both got a set of these, and having been using them for a few months now, we can vouch for the pad being excellent. It's thick and large enough for endurance ride, but it's small enough that it's not really restrictive when you want to get super tucked down in an aero position. These are my go-to shorts for longer rides. Mine too. They're brilliant. £175, they're not cheap, but we have seen plenty, and I mean plenty, of shorts that come in far more expensive than these. These Castellis, I guess they're the new benchmark to beat. Absolutely. Our recommended route this month comes from Devon, with this stunning but savage loop sent in by Lewis. Thank you very much for the route, Lewis. You've earned yourself a pair of our lovely socks. The route takes in some really savage climbs, so this is perfect ride to tackle in the summer when your form is at its peak. So you start with a quick climb and then descent, get the legs warmed up before the first real climb of the day. Dunkery Beacon is a lovely climb, and you're rewarded with incredible views of the North Devon coastline. And that's where we're heading, with a fast ascent down into the quaint village of Porlock to start the next ascent of the day.
I have to say, they do come thick and fast in these parts, but the toll road is a much gentler way to go than the A road.
This could well be my favourite climb in the UK. It feels fast, it feels alpine, and there's hairpins, brilliant.
Love them.
And you get a good view of the beach down at the bottom.
Yeah, it is pretty. With that climb out of the way, you've just got 10 or so rolling miles back to the start point.
Pick a sunny day, and that's an excellent route.
Yes, absolutely. Right, so we've got somewhere nice to ride, some comfortable bibs, a helmet, and some sunnies. Do you have a jersey for us as well?
Well, it just so happens that I might have just the thing. This Stolen Goat TAPPA Bodyline jersey is designed for summer riding with a lightweight, breathable material and an aerodynamic yet comfortable fit.
I have to say, this does tick a lot of boxes. So style, decent sized pockets, including a zipped one, which is important for valuables. There's an all right price at £75. Oh, and it isn't actually see-through like a lot of summer jerseys.
Yeah. That should definitely be criterion number one when designing a jersey, shouldn't it?
No one wants to see my chest hair.
And if you can see through it, then the sun will get through it as well.
Yeah.
No one wants to be sun creaming their entire body before going on a ride.
Oh, well, with that lovely image in your head, let's take a look at the Crane Bell E-Knee Revolver. This bell has a lovely tone. Its unusual rotary mechanism means that you can fit it wherever suits you best on your bars, and it's very nicely made with a machined aluminium clamp and a brass dome.
We really like the distinctive yet polite tone, and the rapid fire dings that the knurled aluminium actuator provides make it easy to sound out your presence.
Our next product, meanwhile, it really brings the value in a small package. The CARRERA INTERCITY Disc 9-speed folding bike. It might not boast the engineering genius of more famous folding rivals, but with very enthusiastic road manners, excellent spec, including a Shimano Sora rear mech and Tektro hydraulic discs. Oh, and 50 quid left over from £500. This is a folder with significant appeal beyond just the traditional commuter set.
Like most folding bikes, you've got two hinges here, one on the main tube in the centre and one in the head tube area. It has been quick to fold down and then open up again, so it's perfectly suited for a tight commute time.
The weight of 12.5 kilos makes it relatively easy to carry, but the brilliant thing is that this offers a fast and fun ride for a very sensible amount of money. In fact, I'm actually considering buying one of these just so that I've got a folder the next time I take the train. Because I know
you just don't want to get missed and left out.
Well, it seems silly, but if you've got a folder, I feel like any time you go on the train and you've got a journey the other side, you don't have to take a taxi and sit in traffic. From a little bike to a full-sized machine, the Specialized SIRRUS X 3.0 is a beefed up version of Specialized fitness bike and has a bit more of a kind of do-it-all attitude. With wide wheels and tyres matched to a mountain bike riser bar, the bike is just as nimble on the byways as it is bombing around town or to get you work.
The cross models add a bit more versatility over the standard SIRRUS range, thanks to 42mm gravel tyres, an extra wide handlebar for better handling off-road, and a decent spread of gears from a 1x setup as well.
So on the road, the SIRRUS X cruises along quite well. The lower gears give you decent acceleration for nipping away from the traffic lights. And the reasonably quick handling allows you to change direction with ease as the need arises.
So you can both sprint away from the buses and then avoid them.
Yes!
Brilliant. So you've got mud guards and rack mounts that you find on the frame and the fork. Though if you want to go down the commuter route, then the EQ models of the SIRRUS X come fitted with mud guards, a rear rack and a dynamo front light.
That's probably the best way to get yourself set up, isn't it? This comes in at 849, so it'll be easy to get it on a cycle to work scheme too, which brings us neatly onto our buying advice.
Yeah, so both of the previous bikes can be classed as commuting bikes, but given a certain commute, so can your Kinesis winter bike. And I've ridden in on my gravel bike before as well.
Yeah, and that suggested to us that it'd be good to offer some advice about what to look for if you're buying a bike to get you to work. When it comes to commuting, you're spoilt for choice, but sometimes too much choice can lead to a headache and then you need to take a nap.
So before you look at any bikes, it's a good idea to map out what your commute is going to be. For example, Liam's commute is 5 minutes down the hill through the city. That means he's got a big hill to climb on the way home and plenty of heavy traffic to share the road with.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Jamie comes in from a lot further out. There is an A road option, but it's very fast and busy, I know that, especially during commuting time. So he tends to head through the more direct route, that's through the lanes, and you utilise the cycle path through the tunnels, don't you?
It's very nice. Then we have staff here that do the vast majority of the journey on train, well, for the majority of the year anyway, before doing the last stretch on a folding bike. And that's just 3 of us.
So once you've figured out your ride to work, you can, broadly speaking anyway, fit in the bikes into the following 3 categories. First is the short urban commute. Then we have the mid-range ride from the suburbs, or one that takes you maybe across town. Finally, there are long distance commutes.
But just bear in mind that the bikes for short urban commutes can fit into the long distance commute if you take public transport for a portion of the journey. So these aren't strict rules.
No, for an urban commute, a flat bar bike can give you a nicely upright position that makes it easy to see ahead and also ensures that you'll be comfortable while carrying a backpack. A folding bike is good if you have tight storage at home or you're going to be hopping onto public transport mid-journey. An e-bike can also be brilliant as it takes the sting out of any hills that you have to go up on the way home.
You wish you had one.
Yeah.
So mid-range commutes can be done on pretty much anything, though we thought we'd go for something as efficient as possible. Otherwise you're going to feel bogged down.
Yeah.
The flat bar SIRRUS we saw earlier would be ideal, for example. You can easily grab a road bike, though just watch out if you're carrying a heavier backpack, as the low front end on a road bike can cause shoulder pain. And again, an e-bike could be a good way of making those daily distances less of an effort. After all, not every bike ride needs to be done for exercise.
And then we have the long range commute. Again, an e-bike is there as an option if you want the help, and unless you're doing some of your journey on public transport, you'll likely want to maximize your efficiency. So a road bike is an easy choice. We'd recommend something that will fit guards and a rack to that so that you can stay relatively clean and use panniers. The panniers will mean any stuff you're carrying is not on your back, and the guards will keep your riding clothes from getting plastered in mud and road spray. That will make you a lot happier when you go to get changed for the ride home.
Yeah, it'll also make your staff a lot happier.
Yeah, soggy kit honestly is not the one.
Actually, I'd recommend mudguards for any commuter bike.
Yeah, they do make a lot of sense, especially if you're going to ride in your work clothes or you're heading through the lanes.
And then if you've got any off-road sections or particularly poorly maintained network of lanes to get through, then a cyclocross or gravel bike would be the way to go.
Yeah, they're a bit more relaxed too, which can be nice.
So hopefully that gives you a rough idea of how to go about picking a commuter bike. But if you're still not sure, then get yourself over to our brilliant buyer's guide. There's a link in the description.
The Raleigh Stride 2 family cargo bike is a highly practical, spacious and powerful e-cargo bike. It's also one of those bikes that you could commute on, allowing you to drop the kids at school on the way. This thing is the length of a small car, and while that gives you a ton of carrying capacity, it does mean that you'll need somewhere to store it.
So Bosch's top-of-the-line performance line CX motor sits at the heart of the bike. This is a powerful mid-motor that will provide assistance almost instantaneously. This is very important for a bike that is of this length and weighs 60 kilos. It means that when stopping and starting on hills, you only need a fraction of a second for real effort before the motor kicks in.
Yeah, with a carry capacity of 80 kg, you've got plenty of scope for carting around a few kids or a decently large adult.
The bike is kept secure with a Dutch lock at the back of the bike, which locks through the back wheel. In most cases, this lock would not be enough to prevent someone from stealing the bike, but given the sheer size and weight of this one, if you can't roll it, you're not going to be able to move it.
Yeah, that's like trying to steal
a house.
Me. And from a heavyweight to a fast and fun gravel bike, the 2022 FORME MONSAL 1 is one of the most comfortable and fun gravel bikes for the money that boasts a geometry that works on all terrains, along with a good tyre clearance and a tough paint job.
Stu says there's just something about this bike that makes it feel nailed on whatever kind of ride you're heading out for. It's fun and engaging on the fast stuff, whilst comfortable enough on those long days in the saddle. It's a lot of bike for the money too.
Yeah, absolutely. We like the SRAM Apex as a group set, and this one by setup did very well. There is space for something wider than the 45s that came on our test bike. Others come close on price, but we reckon that this is one of the best frames on the market.
So next we've got this TAILFIN alloy rack. It's a highly adaptable, solid and silent way of carrying gear on multiple bikes. The rack works without any fuss, carrying a day's worth of camping gear and food. The additional noise on the gravel bike over rowdy terrain was zero. That also meant that nothing moved around. So barring the apparent weight, there was no pendulum effect when pedaling hard.
Panniers can be removed and reinstalled in seconds. And while the price is high, the rack is, well, it's easy to recommend.
That's how we got in this show.
Yeah, funny that. Right, time to go and find a beautiful cafe. It isn't the Binley Mega Chippy, although that's what you wanted to put in. It's this lovely place that's on our recommended route.
The Lynmouth Bay Cafe, unsurprisingly down in the town of Lynmouth, is a cracking stop for a mid-ride coffee and a slice of cake. But if you're a hungry little cyclist, then they do some substantial lunches too. Being right on the coast, the cafe is ideal for summer and winter stops. Seeing as the Lynmouth Bay Cafe is down in the town centre, there's going to be no sprinting for the town signs to be first in the queue. Unfortunately, the bad news is that being down at the coast means that, well, you're in Exmoor, so you are climbing back up. But thankfully, after all of that tasty coffee and cake, you'll at least be well fueled.
Oh, that does look lovely, doesn't it?
That does look nice. So next we've got this GOBIK Thermal Armour VANTA jacket. It's warm, waterproof and has a great fit. It's very well made, it provides good breathability and it protects you from the worst of the weather.
Yeah, GOBIK is a Spanish brand and clothing provider for Pro Team UAE Team Emirates, and they say that the jacket is suitable for temperatures between -5 and 10 degrees. We found that it worked well with just a jersey around 2, so it can, you know, we can easily see that it's working below freezing with additional layers.
Well, that's probably because inside you'll find a Polartec Alpha lining, which is amazingly warm but also breathable. The Polartec Neo Shell has a full 10K waterproof rating, and it worked well throughout testing, with rain beading off the jacket and well, running off.
Just leaving the jacket. The fit is comfortable. It's, you know, got a nice loose fit, but it's not flappy, so it's not going to be blowing around in the wind, which is quite nice. You don't want a flapping jacket.
And very useful if you Tadej Pogacar.
Yes. Why?
Well, Aero.
Ah, right, cool. I was thinking there was something.
No.
I thought you had a trade
Nothing
secret.
else.
No, nothing. Well, with that groundbreaking bit of news from the Pro Peloton, it's time for book club. This month we have the Slow Road to Tehran, a revelatory bike ride through Europe and the Middle East, which is an enjoyable way to understand more about the Middle East and why its people are so often in the news.
This is a great for getting lost in journey, and Rebecca Lowe's writing style is perfect for allowing you to be absorbed in what can sometimes feel like an alien region.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one for an adventurous type, I think. Now, on to our final product before the product of the month. The GORE Race SHAKEDRY jacket is a slimmer jacket than the one that I absolutely love.
It's a really nice bit of kit, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've had mine for years.
I really want one.
Unless it's the height of summer and guaranteed not to rain, it's going with me.
Well, it is really small, so it's easy to put in your pocket, isn't it?
And finally, it's time for product of the month. So, Jamie, come on, drum roll. It's the new Shimano ULTEGRA GROUPSET. Yeah, well, this has been out for a while now, but we finally managed to get our hands on it, and well, it impressed massively.
You were in charge of this one, weren't you, Liam?
Yes, I was. It's you know, it's a hard life riding around on the latest and greatest kit, honestly. But this stuff, it really did impress.
It was everything that we hoped it would be, really,
Yeah.
with faster and crisper shifting than the previous generation, and a weight only a few 100 grams heavier than the much more expensive Dura-Race group set.
I mean, it really makes me think, what is the point of buying Dura-Ace? The main thing is that the shifting is incredible, and yeah, there's no point in going to Dura-Ace anymore.
So,
unless you've just got a silly amount of money burning a hole in your pocket.
So well done, Shimano.
Yeah.
Well done, ULTEGRA. Product of the month.
Well, no, well done, Shimano. You've killed off your own high-end group set. That's just great. So ULTEGRA Di2 takes our product of the month.
But if you want to see a bike equipped with a SRAM group set, then go and check out our new Trek Madone video.
Might not be a Madone. It's an unreleased bike that we spotted at the Criterium de Dauphiné, that famous Tour de France warm-up race. If you want to learn all about it, and when I say all about it,
including a certain feature,
learn about the massive hole in the frame that's apparently meant to be there.
It's going to really split opinion.
Yeah, this is a Marmite bike, you love it,
really
or
is.
you hate it. Anyway, go check out that video, it's well worth a watch. Remember, before you go, to like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.